We're getting two new modes in MLB The Show 25 Diamond Dynasty this year, Weekend Classic and Diamond Quest. Going to be trying to explain those to the best of my ability here in this video for y'all. If you still have any questions or are wondering anything, please drop them down in that comment section. Myself or somebody else could try to help you out. Weekend Classic is much easier to explain, so I want to go ahead and start with that. Now, it's not going to be every weekend. Even though it's called Weekend Classic, it's actually only at the end of every ranked season. The ranked seasons are going to be about a month long. The first one of the year, I think, is going to be the longest ranked season of the year up until the very end, leading up to MLB 26. But each ranked season, I think, is going to be about a month long, and the Weekend Classic is the final 4 days or so of that ranked season. It's going to kind of go from Friday to Monday or Tuesday. And it's an extension of ranked seasons. So Weekend Classic is going to replace normal ranked seasons. You won't be able to play both while Weekend Classic is going on. You'll only be able to do Weekend Classic, at least that's what it sounds like. And your ranked rating matters. Your ranked seasons rating will determine the tier, the division you're in for Weekend Classic, from bronze all the way up to immortal for this Weekend Classic. And the higher division that you're in, the better rewards that you can earn. Now, these are full 9-inning games, and the first 6 games that you play are the most important. Each win in those first 6 games will get you one of those rewards from that tier. You see win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you go 6-0, you get all of these. If you go 5-1, you only get the first 5. Again, that's your first 6 games. The most important are those first 6. And if you lose, that's going down. For every loss, you can win one less reward going down. But you are able to keep playing after the 6 wins. You don't have to stop there. You can see, hey, every win after 6 that you get after those first 6 games, that's the reward you get. It looks like it's going to be maybe a pack, maybe potentially some stubs included in that. Again, the higher division you're in for ranked seasons, the higher Weekend Classic division you'll be in, and the better rewards that you're going to be able to earn. You might notice at the bottom there is a leaderboard, and this leaderboard is not for everybody. Based on the division, the tier that you qualify for, you're going to be going up against people in that same division, in that same tier, but your leaderboard is a smaller group of about 100 people. So you're not going against everybody, you're just going up against whoever randomly got into your group for that leaderboard, but you still have a chance to play everyone in that same division, not just that group of people in your leaderboard. Hopefully that's clear, but again, you have your big division, that's lots and lots of people, and then you have your leaderboard within that division, which you're competing for those extra rewards, but you're not only playing against people in that smaller pool, that's just for that leaderboard for those extra rewards. And with these games, your ranked rating does go up for wins and down for losses, so keep in mind if you're playing this, it is going to impact your ranked rating. And that's Weekend Classic. I think I covered everything again for this, and then Diamond Quest, which we're about to talk about. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comment section. Myself or somebody else could hopefully try to get an answer for you. The second new mode is Diamond Quest, and this is a brand new single player mode within Diamond Dynasty. It's a board game type of mode. It's kind of like a combination of conquest, moments, showdowns, really just everything within single player Diamond Dynasty kind of all put into one. And there are going to be different maps for Diamond Quest. The first map is the tutorial map, and this is the only map where the player card rewards, in this case a Juan Soto and an Aaron Judge, this is the only map where those rewards are non-sellable. Every other Diamond Quest map will have sellable rewards in case you want to sell them, or in case you don't want to play Diamond Quest but you want to buy and try the players. And they're going to be adding Diamond Quest maps as the year goes on. I was kind of under the impression that it was going to be like a random thing every time, but they have specific maps for Diamond Quest, with more being added as the year goes on. But keep in mind that each map is repeatable. You are able to earn the rewards more than once. You can earn them as many times as you can. Now, with the Diamond Quest maps, the only thing that does stay the same are those player card rewards, okay? So those stadium challenges, which we'll get to in a second, those are going to be the same for each of the maps for Diamond Quest. and everything else, the challenges, the mini bosses, the spaces, coach's corner, hidden rewards, all stuff that we'll talk about here in a second. Everything else is going to be randomized every time you play the map. But for each map, those player-specific rewards, those stadium challenges are going to be the same. You're going to hear me use terms, zone sweeper challenges, mini bosses, stadium challenges. All of those things will be explained, but those are some of the key terms to kind of listen and watch out for. But let me try to walk through a Diamond Quest run, a map of Diamond Quest. The one they showcased was the tutorial. Now, when you load up a map, when you're choosing a map, you can see the player-specific rewards, and you can see the percentages for earning those players through the stadium challenges. You might notice the higher difficulty that you play on, the better percentage chance you have to earn these rewards. Now, those percentages will be different for every Diamond Quest map. The harder the map, the lower the percentages are probably going to be. But as you go through a map, as you beat challenges, mini bosses, as you go through the Diamond Quest map, you're able to increase your chances that you see here. You're able to increase those by winning the challenges and the mini bosses. By beating those, you're able to increase your chances of earning one of these cards. And to earn these cards, you do have to beat the stadium challenge. But if you lose the stadium challenge, you don't get the card and you lose all of the rewards, all of the treasure you earned along the way. You don't get to keep any of it if you lose a stadium challenge. But for maps with more than one stadium challenge, you can choose if you want to every time you beat. So let's just say there's 3 stadium challenges on a map and you've beaten 2 of them. After that second time, you decide, hey, I like these rewards. I've gotten a lot. I don't want to risk them. You're able to extract. You are able to leave the map, collect your rewards, and that's only after you beat a stadium challenge. So if there's 1, you do it after 1. If there's more than 1, you can choose after each individual stadium challenge if you want to keep playing or if you want to leave and keep your rewards. And you might notice while you're loading up a Diamond Quest map, some of them might have restrictions. The tutorial does not. You do use your Diamond Dynasty squad. You're using your Diamond Dynasty squad. You're able to earn for some of the challenges progress for stat missions. You're able to earn in those stadium challenges progress for the stat missions as well as parallel XP for your cards while you play. But going back to the difficulty, those percentages, those difficulties, that's for those stadium challenges, which we'll get to in depth a little bit later. But everything else is going to be on veteran difficulty. For the stadium challenge, you choose your difficulty, but every other thing that you do in Diamond Quest is veteran difficulty except for the zone sweeper, which we'll talk to a little bit later. But that zone sweeper game is on legend difficulty, and that I believe is a 3-inning game. But again, that's on legend. The stadium challenge, you choose your difficulty. Everything else, the moments, the showdown bosses, those are all going to be on veteran difficulty. Now, once you're playing Diamond Quest, you have a dice roll at the beginning of every turn to determine how many spaces you can move that turn. If you roll a perfect 6, then you get an extra perk to help you out during Diamond Quest. You don't have to activate these perks. They're always going to be active for you. But if you roll a 1, you get a penalty. Penalties will also come in when you're losing challenges, when you're losing against those bosses, you'll get a penalty. All of the penalties last for 1 game only. They don't last for more than 1 game, 1 challenge. They only last for 1 event in Diamond Quest. And if you roll a 1 at the beginning of your turn with that dice roll, you're getting a penalty. If you roll a 6, you're getting a perk. And those perks last the whole time. The penalties are the only thing that are limited to 1 game. The perks are going to last the whole map. Next, I want to talk about the zone sweeper. That's this little baseball guy that you're seeing. He's called the zone sweeper. He's going to move around the map, sort of chase you, but they said it's pretty easy to avoid him if you pay attention to how he's moving. But you can choose to go face him if you want to. This is a legend difficulty game if you face him, but you can earn goodies. You can earn perks to help you out, as well as packs. I would guess the rewards will probably change based on the map that you're playing for Diamond Quest. But if you're really good at the game, you could maybe use this to farm some packs if that's one of his rewards. Again, this is a legend difficulty, I believe 3-inning game. This is the zone sweeper. He can either land on you or you could go to him. You get perks, rewards, treasure for a win, but then you get a penalty for a loss. On the map, you'll notice there will be question marks. Those are mystery spaces, and the green grass are the spaces that you have not gotten to yet. Once you go to a space, you'll be able to tell because it turns to dirt. There's a home plate for where you started, and for mystery spaces, treasure spaces, maybe packs, who knows, maybe perks, peanuts for the coach shot, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The mystery space will show up then as a question mark. The versus marks that you see, those are going to be the moments that you run into. So moments that we've had in the past, basically like a 1-inning or 2-inning type of thing. Not a game, but a specific challenge or mission that you're trying to accomplish. That's going to show up then as a versus space once you've gotten there. But those will have rewards that you can get, maybe a boost to your percentage, your chance to get those cards that we saw at the beginning, those player-specific rewards. But if you lose, you could get a penalty, and you can also potentially lose that percentage. You can lose chance, and it could go down. You could decrease your chances of getting that player-specific reward for beating the Stadium Challenge later on. There are also mini boss showdowns. These will show up as like a little kind of skull or boss icon once you've gone over that space. And this is basically a showdown. This is going to be, you have to score this amount of runs. You have to take the lead before recording this amount of outs. So for example, you might have to score 2 runs before you make 10 outs. And that's going to be on veteran difficulty. The moments are going to be on veteran difficulty. Everything is on veteran difficulty except the zone sweeper, which is on legend, and then the stadium challenge, which you choose the difficulty for. Somewhere on the Diamond Quest map is going to be coach's carts. You might notice you earn peanuts along the way, and you're able to spend these at coach's carts, and you can spend them for perks. The better the perk, the higher tier the perk, the more peanuts he's going to cost. Now, once you make it to the stadium challenge on the map, you can see your possible victory treasure. You're able to choose your difficulty, and you can see that chance. You can see the percentage. Hey, if I'm playing, for example, this time, the one they showed on all-star difficulty, I will no matter what get that Juan Soto and that Aaron Judge. Also guaranteed on a win would be a show pack and the treasure you've collected along the way, because there are mystery spaces where packs have been popping up. These are going to be different based on the map, and that treasure that you collected along the way, you're able to earn it with a win on the Stadium Challenge, this 3-inning game using your Diamond Dynasty squad, going up against a certain team. Sometimes you're going to see, in this case, you play the Yankees. In other Diamond Quest maps, you might play a team more like mini seasons where it's actual Diamond Dynasty cards, not just a live series. But if you win that game, you get all of your treasure, and you can leave and collect it if there's multiple stadiums. Otherwise, if there's just one, I think that's kind of where the map ends. But if you lose, then you forfeit all of your treasure. If you lose that Stadium Challenge, you don't get anything that you collected along the way. So there's some risk, but there's also some reward as well. And I'm pretty sure that's the basics of it. That's really everything. If you have any questions, definitely drop them down in the comments section. I can try to answer them. Somebody else might be able to try to answer you. Otherwise, I could try to let you know, hey, we just don't know that yet. But hopefully y'all enjoyed. Feel free to drop a like if you did. Subscribe for daily uploads. We're about a week away from actually playing MLB The Show 25 every single day here on the channel. Twitch.tv, Twin Gaming TV on there as well. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Hopefully I covered everything and didn't leave anything out. And hopefully it was clear. I tried to explain it to the best of my ability. But again, if you have any questions, drop them in that comment section. Hopefully you enjoy one of these on screen, another on the channel. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's daily upload.